Leaks have always been a heated debate on the internet. People who are for leaks and support them, people who are against leaks. It's always been also a debate like what kind of leaks are appropriate, like story leaks or character leaks if it's a game that releases characters, which is what we'll be going over today. And Hoyoverse's new approach to that is the main focus of this because, I mean, leaks have been around since any game has come out, and anytime there's like repeated releases, like with games like Genshin Impact or Honkai Star Rail, where you have new characters and new story being released over a set period of time. And so they've always tried to crack down on leaks, but once you've reached a certain hype for a game, and they even discussed that in the article that they wrote, that you just can't really stop it. It's inevitable. And it also just, as soon as the leaks are released, it's just like a wildfire, it just spreads like crazy. And so they've always tried to crack down on it, but they can only do so much. So for me personally, I believe that the character leaks when it comes to these games, it's okay because it kind of gives people an idea of what to look out for and whatnot. I don't think that really affects the story in any way because usually the characters are shown from like way off, or they're shown way before they're ever released. Anyway, from what I've seen, I mean, there might be a couple characters I'm wrong about. But then when it comes to story leaks, I mean, of course, you can't really ever stop them, but I do feel like the story leaks are kind of harmful to the game. I mean, not really, but it kind of can break immersion because you already know what's going to happen and you can't you because the one of the point of these games is like you don't know what's going to happen, but I mean at the end of the day, who's really playing these games for the story? I mean the story's it's good, I suppose, but I mean it's really just all about the characters and the character building and things like that. And so, but the Hoyoverse's new approach to leaks and how they're gonna go about it moving forward is giving cause for concern, if you will, in the community, and how it seems like it's going to alienate some content creators while just pushing other ones. And so you're going to see a divide amongst the content creators who specifically go into guides and character reviews and things like that. And so this is an article on Game Rant that's going over their approach to Genshin, and this is Hoyoverse, and so they control both Genshin and Honkai. So you can see here it says Genshin Impact making changes to content creator test server. As Genshin Impact's beta testing for version 4.6 continues, Hoyoverse is making an important change to its stance on unreleased content. It says Genshin Impact content creators will now be able to post video footage of upcoming updates and characters through a new testing server. Most Genshin Impact players have relied on leaks from a wide network of reliable sources to preview unreleased content and make informed decisions on how to spend their Primo Gems responsibly. However, this could change in the near future. Though Hoyoverse has acknowledged leaks as a positive source of marketing, the vast majority of them have been subject of DMCA takedowns. Most recently, version 0.6 of Genshin Impact is expected to bring a plethora of additions to the game, such as Arlecchino, Remuria, and 2 new story quests. However, in order to access the footage, Genshin Impact fans have had to rely on unofficial channels. Hoyoverse is hoping to streamline this process for their players, both from the perspective of the content creator and from the perspective of the customer. And this is where it's going to kind of cause a divide in the community because you have the one side that's going over like, well, it's only going to be a couple of content creators who are able to access that information and release it. And so naturally their channels will just get more views over time, while the other ones who aren't able to get access to that content or those pre-cut previews and things like that are just not going to get as many views. And so you can kind of see how it's just going to raise some content creators, and it's also just who they choose. And so we don't really know how that even goes about or how they go about that either. Like, is there a certain method that they use to choose? Is it just going to be a select few and it's just going to be the select few going forward? Is it going to be like pick and choose on each? We just don't know. And it really is cause for concern in that respect because you're not really sure, like, for the people who make their money on making content for these games, it's like, well, you're just missing out on views if you're not able to get access to those unreleased characters and things like that, especially when it's officially, so you don't have the fear of the DMCA takedowns and things like that. And so it's definitely a cause for concern, I believe. like I said, for the characters and things like that, I do think it's going to be good in terms of the leaks because it kind of gives players an idea of what to save for or what kind of characters they can look forward to or not look forward to. But then when it comes to the story, I don't think. Uh, I mean, you can't really ever stop leaks, period, but I do think that story leaks are kind of overall just harmful because, I mean, there's not really any reason to ever leak story. But the main issue about all of this leak banter on the internet is the fact that is it going to be just selecting a couple content creators or is it going to be anybody who passes like a certain, I don't know what you would say, like threshold for like viewers or subscribers or something like that? Or is it just Hoyoverse picking and choosing their favorites? Because at the end of the day, for all there's a lot of people who like to make guides and reviews and things like that and builds and whatnot on these games. If this is how Hoyoverse is going to handle it moving forward, it's going to really inhibit a lot of people who make their money off of making these YouTube videos. But let me know what you guys think down in the comments about leaks in general. If you're pro leaks or against leaks for the character releases and the story. And then especially what your take is on the approach that Hoyoverse is taking here with these games and allowing just certain content creators to have access to that information while other ones don't get that. That's where I'm like I don't know if that I'm really a fan of that, but let me know what you guys think. If you liked the video, make sure to leave a like, and I hope to see you guys around. Peace.